Welcome back. I am Sanctus Bellator. Welcome back to Building and Design 101. This is episode 2. In the last video, we talked about the bottom of your base, the walls mostly. Today we'll be doing trims, the little spaces between walls / floors. We're gonna experiment with some designs you can do. So let's get into it. So first, we're going to grab the materials we use in here, and like this image from the thumbnail of the last video, you could do it like this, where you have a overhang that is from the outside pillar. For example, you could have it just like this. Just kind of be an overhang bit. Kind of look like that. These pillar blocks, you can't really make it kind of like this one. You can do it with wood, but you can't actually do it with these pillar blocks because their only orientation is that way. So, where should they have that? Yeah, they have that rotation, but you can't build them off each other. They have to build them separately, which is kind of difficult if you want to build something like this. And it generally doesn't look good because they'll do that. That's just with these pillar blocks from the Create mod. So, you don't really have to worry about that. I'm just gonna not build off of here, but I'm actually, no, I will. We're gonna grab some other block. I'm going to grab, what I like to do is if I'm building a full stone, like a mostly stone walled house, like the walls are stone, I make the pillars and the trim out of wood. Like I did in a Minecraft event not too long ago, where my house was the only one to survive at spawn. The event was the, actually I'm not allowed, am I allowed to reveal it? There's some rules about it, if I'm allowed to reveal the name of it or not. I'm not allowed to release any content about it. Sure, I can talk about it. Can I? I don't think I'm allowed to. It was a fun event though. And everyone built houses at spawn. And my house was the only one made of like fully of stone. And just a small amount of planks, wood planks. And my house was the only one to survive the chaos that happened at spawn. Many people died that day. It was a hardcore server. Technically not hardcore, but it was, if a player killed you, it'd be like hardcore. I was one of, I think, 8 to survive. It was me, a friend, and a few others that survived the event. But the only reason why there was only a few people left was because the owner of the server was against the players and really wanted to win, so he cheated. So, yeah. So we'll get into trims this time. Stop dilly-dallying, talking about past things. Get on with it. See, one of my favorite things about these trims is you can make them really any shape you want to. You can make them like an overhead arc, kind of like this. Not like that. Just let me spread this out a bit. Kind of just make them like that. Or you can, like around the sides, make them that, just stretch them out using the blocks at your disposal. That kind of thing. Like here, you would just, give me a second. Even actually better is to have this jut out a bit. Give me a second. Jut out a bit. And then you can continue a normal trim around like that. And just making up as I go. Kind of like that, and then whenever it hits like a wall like this, around the corners, you just kind of normal stair pattern. And then on the walls, it'd be an arch. You do either over an arch or an under arch. It's just this shape, but flipped upside down. It's not that difficult. And then you would have to have these stairs upside down instead of upright. But it should not be that difficult. It's just literally the main ideas of getting a good build that doesn't look really ugly is texture. You want to have a lot of texture, but not too much texture, or it look like a garbled mess. Just want like texture on the pillars, the walls. Well, actually, walls can be flat. It doesn't really matter. If you want to really have the walls textured, you can, but I don't really do that because it just makes it seem the walls makes it seem so cluttered, and that can and trying to like texture the walls. Oops, trying to texture the walls might end up making it so you have less room on the inside and take up like a bunch more room than you need to, which I don't like. I don't like it. I'm just gonna build around. So give me a second here. We have a basic trim made of deep slate brick stairs all around the sides. They extrude out just a bit. And generally, with trims, you have the trim be where your second floor starts. So let's just grab a nice material to start the floor. I'm actually gonna do a checkerboard or a kind of pattern flooring. What should I make it out of? While I'm figuring this out, ponder the question of the day. I did not do this last time, but I'm very sad that I didn't. But question of the day, What is a good question of the day? Hmm, I got it. What is your favorite wood type? Personally, my favorite is either my favorite is either spruce or dark oak. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Okay, so I got a block type picked out. This block will only look good. Um, there's stuff going on inside my room. Don't worry about it. This block will only look good with the texture pack I have right now, but we're just gonna roll with it. So this trim is just, it's gonna be a checkerboard. Do I want to have a checkerboard? Or do I want it to be a bit more than checkerboard? I'm gonna have a 2x2 checkerboard. Change this design a bit. 2x2 checkerboard. Hmm, Messed that up. Oops. Make mistakes. Just fear with making these videos is my voice being too bassy and making the audio kind of choppy. But other than that, I'm not too worried. As long as you guys are enjoying it, I'll keep making them. Well, I enjoy making these videos. I mean, if you want, I could record some of my gameplay videos instead of just sitting here doing build tutorials. If you want to see that, comment. If you want to see that. It's going to take me a while. Give me a second. Already, I am done making the floor. The second floor. The bottom floor is still empty. Also, it's really dark without full bright, but no mob spawn anyway. I could just make the flooring right now, but we're not focusing on the bottom floor right now. Focus on this flooring. The flooring, you'd have it just on where the trim is. And if you're not happy, if you're doing like an arch pattern, you don't want the outer part of the flooring like this, you would want them to be a solid block. Not like that. I just heard an explosion in the distance. I'm not worried about that. Like that. I'm not actually gonna do it all the way around, but that's how you do it. Another explosion. I'm kind of worried. Trims or anything. Any kind of decorative outer trims will not look weird. Those are the arches, the weird coloration of the floor. If it's not a checkerboard, you probably don't need that. But if you're having any kind of any kind of pattern flooring, you would want a secondary trim, just so it doesn't look ugly on the outside. But that's kind of how you do trims. Trims are very important to add depth and separation between floors. There are a bunch of different ways you can do trims. You can make them out of logs, stairs, slabs, full blocks, freaking fence gates, trap doors, buttons. You can make them out of any block, any kind of item you can place, and, and it would be just fine. You can make it out of walls, kind of maybe chisel block, even like lanterns. You can make it out of any kind of block that emits light. Make it literally out of anything, and it would add a lot of depth to your build, and even add some places where we can add design like arches, downward arches, kind of canopies, or even like outer parts like those like the classic like Japanese homes where they have like the multi-layered roofs. They have like the bottom floor and then a roof and then the little things that poke out of the corners. And then another floor that's smaller and then have the same thing, kind of like stacked on top of each other, but smaller and smaller. That would only be possible with trims. I don't know if the trim is the official name, official word for it, but that's just what I'm calling it. But yeah, that's how you do trims. And you always gotta be careful with what you're making with, because when you're building something, you don't want to have it like too random. Usually, I would tell you to make it out of maybe 3 blocks, like 3 main blocks. What I personally prefer is a stone block, a stripped log, and a plank. Any kind of plank. Like an example would be um, stone bricks, stripped oak wood. I would personally like wood instead of logs because you don't have the weird like grain. We just have the stripped bark and then a spruce flags. This is usually what you want to make your base out of. Like just 3 main blocks. An idea would be like this. This would be your stone walls. The trim here would be stripped oak wood. And then your flooring would be these planks. It's kind of like this. Kind of like that. That'd be one way to do it. And you can make this out of stripped, any kind of stripped wood, any kind of plank, and any kind of stone block. But this is a really bad example because it's both using a it's using two stone blocks, um, a ore block, uh and stripped wood. These are too many blocks and would make your base seem like your build seem cluttered or um kind of look like you put like hit random on character customization. It will look so bad. So I would say limit your block count to like block variety count to 3. It'll make your bases and builds look a lot better and a lot cleaner. This is actually one of my favorite like combination of blocks. Like stone bricks, uh, spruce planks, and stripped oak wood. Works great together. They all complement each other. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to build. This is ugly. This is ugly because it's like red, green, orange, black. The combination just doesn't go well together, especially in this pattern, in this way, doing it. This is ugly. This is clean. Ugly, clean. And to make this design look better, we'll grab what this design is based after, uh, which design is actually based after this design here. To make this design look good like this one actually uses multiple stone blocks, so I wouldn't actually use this one. So instead of doing this, I'll get rid of this and replace it with, since this is black, you either want to make it a similar color, but not the same color, or have it a complete different color, but not like acacia, because acacia will, I don't know, acacia just doesn't mix with black very well. I don't know why, but it's all in preference if you're really worried about it. We're actually just got birch because it's like opposite, and we'll just do this. Yeah, it looks bad. I don't like that. I'm trying to make this grayscale. So I'm gonna grab some. Let's just make this out of crimson, like that. And then for that, you need a trim of a block that will fit well with your design. Give mangrove is a similar coloration to crimson. Just do it like that. You just do it like that. Give some texture. It's fine. But it's trims and block colorization make your build better. This has been episode 2 of Building and Design 101, and I will see you later.